The Snow White remake is coming out this Friday, which I am not looking forward to at all, and it's yet another Disney live action remake. So this week, I have decided to review some of the Disney live action remakes that came out in 2020 so far, and ones that I have not reviewed yet that I would like to give my thoughts on this channel, so let's start with this one. Hey movie buffs, I'm Jack Benner and welcome to my review of Mulan 2020. Mulan is a 2020 Disney live action remake of the 1998 original film from director Nika Caro. For those who don't know the story of Mulan, Mulan chooses to fight in the Imperial Army to keep her ailing father to serve. While she's training, she disguises herself as a man and battles northern invaders in China. Before I get into my review, any new viewers come across my channel for the first time, welcome to my channel. I am Jack Benner. I talk about movies on here. I do movie reviews, both old and new, and sometimes I do some lists on here, either a top 5 or a ranking video. So you like movie content, like what you see so far, definitely considering that like and subscribe button for more exciting movie content down the road. The original Mulan in 1998 still remains as one of the best films in the Disney Renaissance era, being one of the most visually stunning Disney animated films, the unforgettable characters and songs, the action, the scope, the drama, one of my favorite Disney animated heroines, one you can root for, sympathize with, and seeing her doing everything she can to risk it all to save China. And when I heard a live action remake of Mulan was happening, I figured it was inevitable, but I was also displeased with it because Mulan is one of those Disney animated films that never needed a remake in the first place. I just view it as, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And when I first saw the trailer, I thought it looked decent, promising enough. I was like, okay, maybe a live action remake of Mulan can work. And I was just curious to see how it would compare to the original. As you may remember, this was originally set to release in March of 2020, but then you know what happened, that delayed it to fall of 2020 and was put on Disney Plus. Now the thing is with Disney remakes, either doing something different from the original or just staying faithful to the same story and just follow the same story beat by beat, I wouldn't have a huge problem with it if the execution is well done. For example, some of the Disney remakes I love The Jungle Book 2016 and I like Cinderella 2015 that did stay faithful to their original stories but also did make some changes to make them stand out on its own. Or the wrong example of just following the same story, The Lion King 2019. Even if it did follow the same story, it was just so bland, hollow, and boring that I was just like, this movie wasn't even necessary. Or a film just being different like Maleficent that I felt like just did changes for the sake of it and I just didn't like that movie. And going into this remake, I was curious since this was making changes from the original, not a musical, no Mushu, no Li Shang, and going a little bit more serious. Maybe this could be like a Disney version of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. But in the end, this remake just felt flat to me. What had potential to be another cool live action remake ended up being boring, dull, and another unnecessary Disney live action remake, and I just didn't like it. To start with my pros, Nika Caro does show some potential as a director. For a few technical aspects, the production design is excellent just from the massive scale of everything, and some of it I could tell was shot on location. That, along with the fantastic costume design with excellent attention to detail. There is some good cinematography of some landscapes and showing some impressive fight choreography. And second, there are some supporting performances that do a good job here, and for the most part the effects are good in this film, although some iffy looking in the third act of this film. And you can definitely see why this movie cost $300 million, I believe so, to make. However, let's get to the cons of this movie where this movie just didn't work. First, the lead actress playing Mulan, I'll put her name right here. I was interested to see how she would do as Mulan, but in the film, she just didn't entirely impress me. She does look the part and she does great with the physicality, with the sword fighting and combat. However, where it loses me on her performance, she just felt too stoic. She had charisma in the first half, but she just lost it, and I unfortunately wasn't entirely invested in Mulan's story. I should sympathize with her obstacles she's facing, and wanting to see her overcome everything to save China, but I just wasn't entirely invested. It just felt like a bland and stoic performance that didn't really leave an impression on me. And another huge problem with this remake, it just felt boring and weightless. where this movie honestly felt like a chore to sit through at 2 hours. It just drags. This movie just felt devoid of any charm, personality, or an engaging story to be invested in, where it had any emotional moments, but it either felt rushed or lacking any emotional impact, where scenes I should feel something, but watching them, I feel nothing. Like this one village scene that's supposed to be a heartbreaking emotional moment, it should be powerful, but I just didn't really feel it. And in the acting in that scene, it just felt like, this is sad. It's a tragic moment. Yes, it is. And then just move on and forget about that quickly. It almost felt like,
oh no! Anyway.
Or seeing the Mulan going to train and leaving her family behind, or Mulan exposing herself to the army, and I just didn't really feel anything during those scenes. Now, for the most part, this movie is technically good. If there is one technical aspect I hated about this movie, who was in charge of editing this movie? Because this is choppy. I hated how this movie was edited. It is so quick cut, so choppy, and there were even times it was hard to follow, and it was just like a second and another second. I was like, wait, what happened there? How did it get there? What? And the problem with the editing that just ruins the filmmaking here, it is just so quick cut, it subtracts any tension or weight going on at that scene. And it's just so quick, it doesn't give you enough time to admire the fight choreography or any impressive filmmaking going on here. And it's just a shame. I didn't expect the editing to be this poor. To sum up, Mulan 2020 is another Disney remake that's wasted potential. Even with its impressive production design and costume design, this movie was just boring, dull, and weightless that just pales in comparison to the excellent original. Since this movie came out 5 years ago, and if you haven't seen this movie yet, honestly, I don't think you're really missing anything from this movie. If you want to see the more well-paced, with more charm, more emotion, more impact, I'd say just watch the original instead over this remake. I was willing to give this remake a chance, but watching this movie, it just didn't leave an impression on me. I just didn't like it. I don't know if I would say it would be one of the top 5 worst of the Disney remakes, but it could be a dishonorable mention. And now to grade it, I'm going to give Mulan 2020 2 stars out of 5, a C-. 5 years later, this just feels like a forgettable Disney live action remake. I felt like a lot of people forgot about this movie. And it just reminds me, and one of the issues being with this movie and some of the other Disney remakes, just the emotional moments in the original that were impactful, just paled in comparison in those scenes in the remake. And it just reminds me why I'm just getting sick of these remakes and I'm just finding them repetitive and redundant. And checkbox for Mulan 2020. Next review for Disney live action remakes of 2020, Cruella, which is a much better film, so looking forward to reviewing that. So I would like to hear from you guys. What do you guys think of Mulan 2020? Have you seen it? Do you agree? Disagree with my review? Or if you haven't seen it, are you interested in seeing it or not? Let me know down below. Did you enjoy hearing my thoughts on this movie and want to see more reviews like this in the future? If yes, please hit that like and subscribe button if you're new here, and don't forget that notification bell for my next upload in the future. It really means a lot. My social media links are in the description down below. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you'd like to see my written reviews, I do have a letterbox, so if you'd like to follow me on there as well. And until the next video, I'm Jack Benner, and look forward to another movie review.